Good morning, guys! Yes! It's Saturday. That makes me so happy because we are unraveling a sweater for today's tutorial. I'm gonna show you guys how to get a continuous strand when unraveling your sweaters. Your sweaters or sweater. Let's get started with the materials. You will need 3 things. Your sweater, a seam ripper, and a small scissor. It's just to snip certain areas that might give you trouble. You will want to turn your sweater around and remove the tag. The tag could give us some trouble when we start to seam rip. So remove the tag so it's not there to give you any trouble. Next, you see the seam? You're gonna take the seam and open it like this. It's like this motion of opening the 2 seams. This way it's nice and more visible for you to see where the seam of the sweater is, so you know which strand to break apart. I start from the side seams and work my way up to the arm. I'm going to show you 2 ways. In order for you to have a continuous strand, you have to make sure to remove the string that is attaching sweater pieces together neatly. You do this by seam ripping in the top and then you're able to pull. You see how it's pulling apart? Okay, so now I'm going to show you what happens if you cut the wrong string. Look here. You see how I snipped the wrong string and now it's kind of loose? That's because we cut apart a string from the sweater. That's not a huge issue. I'll show you how to fix that once we start to pull apart the yarn. But that's what you must avoid when you're cutting your pieces apart. You want to make sure that you're cutting cleanly through the seams and you're just pulling apart that yarn that is attaching the sweater together. This is what we're going to continue to do all throughout the sweater. And once you reach the armhole, you're gonna see that it's kind of thicker. So just try to look around where the start of the arm seam is, and you can begin cutting. Pull it apart. Once you find it, it's gonna come out very easily. So that's what you want to do. As you seam rip the collar, you'll find the same technique of finding the yarn and being able to pull it. I tried from the left to see if I cut there and it pulls. It didn't pull, so then I went to the right side, cut a seam there, and noticed that I was able to pull it. I continue this all throughout until removing the entire collar. Okay, great. So we have all our pieces apart. We have the front, the back, the 2 arm sleeves, and the collar. The next step is to begin to pull the yarn. Begin unraveling the sweater by starting from the top and working our way down. The trick is that you want to make sure to find this. Do you see that string? You're just going to want to untie it and then you'll be able to pull it apart. You'll be able to pull it apart right away, or you'll have to use a scissor to cut it and pull it out. Let's say this happened to you. You by accident cut the part of the sweater, and as you pulled, you see that your string pulled apart. Tie those string ends to each other, double knot it to secure its place. Snip those strings that are loose from tying it, and then you'll be able to continue unraveling. This will allow you to have your continuous strand in case the string is broken apart. But other than that, you just continue to pull. 2 options. You can either pull, and then turn into a ball, or as you pull, turn it into a ball. I recommend that as you pull, turn it into a ball because this will avoid knots. Because when you constantly pull and then you want to get the ball back on, it will sort of like tangle up, and you do not want to, like, after pulling all the yarn, have to untangle. Wheel it into a ball so you can have a finished ball put together like this. And if you get this small bit, just put it to the side and then you can tie it back. And then you just continue to pull, and you see as you pull, it gets so relaxing. Notice how it's a continuous strand. as you pull the yarn of your sweater and you start to reach the rib knit, I tend to stop here. Because I've noticed that the yarn is thinner. See how the yarn of the double rib is a different size from the sweater. So I don't like to use that string, but if you see that it fits your project and then you want to use it, go for it. Use it and continue to unravel that area. But I tend to stop here. A sweater normally tends to give you about four to five of these in this size. It will also depend a lot on the size of your sweater. Now that we've gone over how to unravel your sweater, I want to tell you guys the things to avoid. I recommend to one day choose to break apart your sweater. Then the next day unravel. Cutting apart the sweater might take you 2-3 hours, and then unraveling can take you 2 to 3 hours. So, second tip, avoid sweaters that have wool. The easiest sweaters to unravel are the ones that have cotton and acrylic, or 100% cotton, 100% polyester. The ones that are made of acrylic with wool, or just wool, as you pull, it tends to knot. And then you're just going to stare at that sweater and not want to see it anymore. Trust me, I've been there. I've unraveled so many sweaters and it's incredible the amount of knots sweaters with wool have. So don't use wool. Woohoo! So we have upcycled a sweater by unraveling it into a continuous strand. This has been the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial a whole lot. When you begin to unravel your own sweater and you come across any difficulties, just write in the comments below. I'll be super happy to help you. I want you to have a nice, smooth experience unraveling your sweater. So if you have any problems as you try these steps, write in the comments so I can help. Also, I have uploaded a written version of this tutorial in my blog. So what did we do? We hashtag remode. Make sure to subscribe, like the video a whole tons. It supports the channel immensely, and we will see each other next Saturday. It's great for the planet.